वेरांडा लर्निंग सॉल्यूशंस, पहले मैं आपको कंपनी के बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी दे दूं कि क्या करती है कंपनी। 20 नवंबर 2018 को एंड्रोमेडा एडुटेक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड के नाम से ये कंपनी बनी थी। फिर दिसंबर 2020 में इस कंपनी ने अपना बिजनेस शुरू किया। ऑनलाइन, ऑफलाइन, हाइब्रिड और ऑफलाइन ब्लेंड फॉर्मेट में लर्निंग सॉल्यूशंस देने का कारोबार करती है। बेसिकली आप ये समझ लीजिए कि पढ़ाने का काम करती है, ठीक है। यूपीएससी, राज्य लोक सेवा आयोग, कर्मचारी चयन आयोग, बैंकिंग, बीमा, रेलवे और सीए, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट से रिलेटेड ये सारे कोर्सेज हैं इस कंपनी के पास में। आइए, कंपनी के चेयरमैन और एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर कलपति एस सुरेश साहब हमारे साथ कार्यक्रम में शामिल हो रहे हैं, जो कंपनी के प्रमोटर्स में से एक हैं। आपने आईआईटी मद्रास से इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग, वाव, और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में बीटेक किया है, गजब की पढ़ाई की है। और क्लैम्सन यूनिवर्सिटी से इलेक्ट्रिक इंजीनियरिंग में मास्टर्स भी किया है। और कंपनी का डे टू डे ऑपरेशंस और बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट और नेटवर्किंग, ये सारा कामकाज कलपति सुरेश साहब देखते हैं। सर गुड मॉर्निंग, स्वागत है आपका, वेलकम ऑन द शो। जो मुझे बताया गया कि शायद आप हिंदी अच्छे से नहीं समझ पाते हैं, सो आई विल आस्क क्वेश्चंस इन इंग्लिश। फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट, वेलकम ऑन द शो। टेल मी व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द बिजनेस मॉडल इज, व्हाट डज योर कंपनी डू?
Thank you for the opportunity. The company is in the education space. We leverage significant on technology. And from day one, the company is built on three pillars. First is to give very high quality programs that deliver outcomes and at prices that are affordable to what I call as the real Indian. The business is built around the model of being hybrid from day one. So we deliver our programs online. We deliver our programs in offline formats, and we strongly believe that the students and our learners that we have will make the choice whether they want to take our programs online or offline. What we have seen is during the lockdown periods, the online business tends to go up. Once the lockdowns get eased, then the offline business tends to spike up sharply. So we are a hybrid business from day one. We are an edtech in that sense, and we deliver our programs for state, central government exams, for chartered accountants, for IAS aspirants, and in significant areas of software upskilling.
So how are you different from many other companies into education line? Few are listed, few are unlisted, big names also there. So what is your USP compared to them?
The promoters of this company come with the background of over 30 years in the education space. We have built some of the biggest networks in India that produce students in hundreds of thousands every year. Given the skill gap that has emerged in India, not just in the software space, where industry associations are talking of 50 to 60 lakh people is the skill gap in India, most of the other emerging areas are also finding challenges in terms of reskilling. What India today requires is for organizations to produce very large networks that penetrate deep into tier 3 and tier 4 of India to be able to meet this skilling challenge. In our earlier avatar, we understand this country very well. We have established thousands of software training locations in India, and we want to replicate it this time. And hopefully, we will be able to meet at least a small percentage of the skill gap that already exists. There are a number of players in this market, like you mentioned, and there are going to be many more required if the skill gap should be met in the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Let me just give issue details to our viewers. इशू का प्राइस बैंड जो है 130 से 137 रुपये है। 200 करोड़ रुपए का इशू है और ये फ्रेश इशू है। और इस इशू के बाद जो कंपनी की मार्केट कैप होगी वो करीबन आप समझ लीजिए 764 करोड़ की होगी, 750-800 करोड़ की ये होगी। नाउ आई जस्ट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्यू थिंग्स फ्रॉम योर फिनेंशियल विच इज लुकिंग लिटिल अनकम्फर्टेबल टू मी। You are trying to raise 200 crores, right sir? Your revenue in first 6 months of this financial year is just 15 crore. Last year it was only 2.5 crore. March 19 and March 20, these two financial year it was zero, maybe because of COVID, okay, even if online learning was there. So in this year you just did revenue of 15 crore and you want to raise 200 crore. Loss is 18 crore. How do you ask such big amount on only on 15 crores revenue?
Our pro forma revenue for the September ended was about 48 crores. The company has done two acquisitions, one in the state and central government space. The other one is in the software upskilling. If you look at our margins before taking into account one-time expenses associated with the acquisitions we did, and before brand building expenses, we were actually EBITDA positive on a top line of 48 crores. The company is growing on a month-on-month basis post that period. And if our growth trajectory is set right, both in the state central government space and in the software upskilling space, we expect to be able to establish one of the largest networks in India. As
Are
I
you,
mentioned, the
sir,
promoter had prior experience of setting up such
okay,
large networks. We
okay,
hope to be able to replicate it this time in possibly half that time, given our experience and the learnings that we have had.
okay. So, sir, tell me one thing. Are you making profit at net profit level? You said you are EBITDA positive, but are you making profit, or there is still time to, there is some time to come?
The strong belief of the company is not only to grow the top line aggressively, but also to be profitable. So we will never compromise on profitability for growth. We will maintain a high trajectory of growth given the skill gap that is there. So there is a very strong demand in the two areas that we operate in. But we will not compromise profitability for just growth alone.
Got your point, sir. Tell me one thing. What is the hurry to come out with the IPO? I just want to understand. Like, you just started operation in March 21, 2.5 crore revenue. This first 6 months, whatever we got from the RHP is only 15 crore. As you are saying, maybe 48 crores. So why don't you perform for next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, make your company profitable, and then come into stock market, raise capital, so your investors' confidence would be really high. Here, looking at your financials, we don't get that confidence.
So there are two aspects to this business that drive us to go for an earlier IPO listing. The first is the company has done two acquisitions in the past to build out the business. There are opportunistic acquisitions that we are looking at, and the listed stock gives us additional options to structure such acquisitions. That's first. The second one is that a listed stock gives us better ways to provide stock option plans, where the employees who get those options can actually look at the potential wealth that it creates for themselves. So it sort of helps us to align the vision of our employees with the company. And given that we are in EdTech and also we provide training on some of the most high-end software products, it's critical for us to be able to retain the technology talent that we have. So a listed stock also gives us an ability to give stock option plan to our employees to align their vision and their value for wealth creation along with the other shareholders and stockholders' value.
Okay. But for just 1.5 year old company into business, why should you ask such high valuations? You are asking valuations of 750 crores odd. Market cap to sales is around 25 times. Zomato trades at 17 times. Paytm trades at 13 times. No doubt, they are completely e-commerce companies. You are a hybrid model. But these big companies, loss-making companies, they even trade on revenue much, much less than what your company is. So why, when your history is not there, you just started businesses, you are into not into profit at net level, then why are you asking for such high valuations?
The valuation of the company pre-IPO at the price band that's given is about 520 crores. The company had done a private placement in December of last year for about 40 crores at 130 rupees, which valued the company pre-money at about 480 crores. The IPO is being done around the same price point. Second, from a numbers, our pro forma numbers for the half year was about 48 crores. And that sort of gives a lower revenue multiple. Now, having said that, the growth that we see and the experience that we bring gives us an ability to scale this business as a very profitable and a high growth business uh, in combination with the acquisitions that we have done. I think the private placement that we did, the people who participated have reposed their faith and trust in the quality of the management and our ability to execute.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
so valuation is
Okay.
there, but peg it against our half-year pro forma of 48 crores.
I don't know, sir, whether it's high growth business or highly competitive business, that you know it better because you are master in that business. But one thing, like from this, whatever you raise 200 crores from your IPO, you will pay some amount as debt, right? Repay as debt. Still, you will be left at 80 crores debt in your books, if I am right. Even if I assume 6% interest rate, 6 to 7 crores rupees interest payout would come every year, and your cash flow is hardly 5 crores. How would you manage debt and interest repayment in such a scenario? Plus, you are raising 65 crores for general corporate purpose. A company whose revenue is also not there 65 crores, where do you use this 65 crores as general corporate purpose?
Uh, so the fundraise is 200 crores. I'll just quickly go through the objects of the issue. Uh, About 85 crores is being used to repay debt and obligations relating to the acquisitions we did. About 50 crores has been set aside for growth initiatives. I'll quickly walk through two of them. And about 65 crores is set aside for issue related expenses, plus building out and extending our technology platform and for building content. On the growth initiatives, the state central government exams are predominantly vernacular based. When we started in December of 2020, we were available in one language, that was Tamil. Today, we exist in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Hindi, and English. With the issue proceeds, we will have our programs available in Odia, Marathi, and Bengali, and that completes our national footprint. Just as a test prep, the state central government exams in some of the largest states in India, the number of people who register to write these exams is much larger than the number of people who write IIT, JEE, and NEET put together on an all India basis. So it's a very large segment, and our ability to be made available in all vernaculars will give us a national footprint and make us a significant player in that space. That's the first growth initiative. The second growth initiative is the software upskilling business, where we are currently 100% online. Our FY21 pro forma revenue in that vertical alone was about 80 crores, which is a completely online business. With our ability and experience of having built some of the largest training
No,
networks for high-end software hybrid model.
Mr. Suresh, I got your all objectives from the DRHP. Tell me one thing, how much you have invested in the company? I mean promoters, how much promoters has invested in the company so far?
We have invested 43 crores.
Okay, so you have invested 43 crores, you are coming out with 200 crores IPO. So I mean, the whole growth going forward, what you expect, it has to come from investors' money, correct? If I am right? So I mean, you see, 1.5 year history, your total revenue so far is hardly 48 crores. You have invested 42 crores, and you are going to raise 200 crores, and you want to run the company, run the business going forward purely from investors' money. Is that right?
So, including the private placement that was done in December pre-IPO, the equity infusion has been 83 crores. The IPO is bringing 200 crores into the pool. The investments that are required significantly for the growth has been happening during the last 12 months. So for us, this has been an year of investments. We have invested in extending and building out technology platform for the hybrid launch for our software vertical. We have invested in expanding our content portfolio from one language to 6 languages. We are very shortly will extend it to another 3 more, completing our national footprint. The development of instruction design and pedagogy to manage our hybrid expansion has already been done.
No, no,
So
that's
majority of the investments that are required for our expansion
okay.
has significantly been completed at the time of the IPO.
Okay. Another question comes to my mind is like you raised some 74 crores by issuance of debentures, right, sir? And that is at 4% interest rate. I'm wondering who invests at 4% interest, who lends at 4% interest, because government India's GSEC, 10-year GSEC, that trades at 6.5-7%. AAA companies, they borrow at 7-8%, 9%. How come you get money at 4%?
So the acquisition that we did of Brainforce in Bangalore, whose customer facing brand is called Edureka. The key promoters and investors of that company are the people who have subscribed to the NCD. It matures in September 2024, 3 years from the date of acquisition. So the subscribers to that NCD has been the promoters and key investors of Brainforce.
Okay, fine. So that was the arrangement that Edureka you acquired, some sort of arrangement about NCDs there. Anyway, I leave it here, sir. Thank you so much for your time and all the best for your IPO. I think it's opening tomorrow.
you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, sir.